Hello students, this is the video lesson explanation of History Chapter 2, New Kings and Kingdoms. History has been divided into three parts to make it easier to study: the ancient period, ancient history, the medieval history, and the modern history. And medieval history is a very long period of time, so it has been divided into two parts: early medieval period and the later medieval period. So in this chapter we will know about this medieval period and what happened during early medieval period में कौन से kingdoms थे in the northern part of India and the southern part of India. So early medieval period saw the rise of many kingdoms. There were many small kingdoms rose and come into emergence. By the 7th century there were big landlords called सामंत. बड़े बड़े ज़मींदार हुआ करते थे जो सामंतस होते थे, उनका नाम था सामंतस. And these सामंत्स gave gifts to their overlords, that is the king, and they give them military support. These Samans, what do these Samans do? They give military support to the king during the time of war, because the Samans have an army, and in the time of war they give support to the king. मतलब इन सामंतों के पास अपनी आर्मी होती थी जो कि वह राजा को सपोर्ट करते थे युद्ध के दौरान, और इसके बदले उनको लैंड ग्रांट्स वगैरह मिलते थे. एंड हमने क्या देखा कि ग्रेजुअली जो ये लैंडलॉर्ड्स थे, इन्होंने चूँकि इनके पास अपनी खुद की आर्मी थी तो इनका पावर बढ़ता गया दिन प्रतिदिन. एंड इन हिस्ट्री वी सी एग्जाम्पल दैट दीज सामन समटाइम्स ओवरथ्रो द किंग एंड हैव बिल्ड देयर ओन किंगडम्स. कभी कभी सामंतस को हमने क्या देखा कि उन्होंने राजाओं को हटा के खुद राजा वो बने, बिकॉज उनकी पावर काफ़ी बढ़ गई थी. वेन एवर द किंग इज नॉट कॉम्पिटेंट एंड नॉट पावरफुल, दिस पीपल द सामंतस अचीव पावर. एन एग्जाम्पल इज दंती दुर्गा. he established Rashtrakuta kingdom. Okay. So in the northern part of India we saw the many dynasties were there in the northern part of India. So first of all we will know about the Pala dynasty. The Pala dynasty, they ruled in Bengal and Bihar, and the time period was from 8th century to 12th century. The founder of this dynasty was Gopala, and successor means उसके बाद जो राजा बना. The successor of Gopala was Dharampala, and he expanded his kingdom and strengthened the kingdom more. उसने अपने kingdom को और बड़ा किया. They were involved in tripartite struggle. Tripartite struggle means there were three kingdoms who were fighting with each other. They were Palas, Pratiharas and Rashtrakutas, and they all were fighting for the control of Kannauj. And they follow the religion of Buddhism. Palas follow which religion? Buddhism. And during the time period of Palas, there were Buddhist University of Nalanda and Vikramshila. Okay. The next is the Gurjar Pratiharas. The Gurjar Pratiharas ruled in the Gujarat and Rajasthan, that is the western part of India. Their important ruler was King Bhoja. What were their achievement? They conquered Kannauj and made capital. Kannauj, जिसके लिए कि वो तीनों लड़ते थे, पालस, प्रतिहारस एंड राष्ट्रकूटस, उसको किंग भोजा ने कैप्चर किया था. और 1018 he was defeated by Mahmud of Ghazni. Mahmud of Ghazni was a foreign invader. इसके द्वारा वो defeated हुआ था. Now in the northern part of India there were the Rajputs. These were very important kingdoms. Their origin, they are from the different origin. There is belief that they originated in different, there is a different idea of their origin. And Rajputs means basically Raj means Raja, or Putra means beta, Raja ka beta. Okay. What was the origin? There were three ideas. That they were descendant of the Central Asian tribe. राजपूतों के बारे में कहा जाता है कि वो सेंट्रल एशियन ट्राइब्स के से आए थे. सेंट्रल एशियन ट्राइब के वो डिसेंडेंट है या उनके ही वंशज हैं. और दूसरा आइडियोलॉजी क्या था? डिसेंडेंट्स ऑफ लोकल क्षत्रिय फैमिलीज. ये क्षत्रिय परिवार के वंशज थे, राजपूत, ठीक है। अदर्स से दैट दे बिलोंग टू द सूर्यवंश एंड द चंद्रवंश फैमिली, और एक तीसरा मत ये था कि ये लोग सूर्यवंश और चंद्रवंश के वंशज थे, ठीक है। नाउ आई विल टेल यू अबाउट सम इम्पॉर्टेंट राजपूत किंगडम्स. First one is the Tomars. The Tomars, they were known for building the city of Delhi in the 8th century. Tomars का क्या अचीवमेंट था? उन्होंने दिल्ली शहर को बसाया था, ठीक है, इन द 8th century, 8वीं शताब्दी में, 736 AD. द चौहान्स के बारे में शॉर्ट में जानेंगे हम. इनका सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट रूलर थे पृथ्वीराज चौहान. उनका क्या अचीवमेंट था? बिकॉज ही डिफीटेड मोहम्मद गौरी इन द फर्स्ट बैटल ऑफ तराइन. उन्होंने मोहम्मद गौरी को हराया था पहले बैटल तराइन के प्रथम युद्ध में, और लेकिन दूसरे युद्ध में वो मृत्यु को प्राप्त हुए थे लड़ते लड़ते. बट इन द सेकेंड बैटल ही वॉज डाइड वाइल फाइटिंग फॉर हिज किंगडम. सो दूसरा युद्ध वो हार गए थे और उनकी मृत्यु भी हो गई. द नेक्स्ट किंगडम इज द सोलंकीज. द सोलंकीज रूल्ड इन द रीजन ऑफ काठियावाड़ गुजरात में आएगा. इनका सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट रूलर थे सिद्ध राजा. इनका क्या अचीवमेंट था? ही बिल्ट अ टेम्पल इन माउंट आबू इन राजस्थान. दैट नेम इज दिलवारा टेम्पल. इट्स अ वेरी फेमस टेम्पल. आज भी लोग यहाँ घूमने के लिए जाते हैं. एंड द परमार्स की कैपिटल थी धार जो कि एमपी में है. इनके सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट किंग थे भोज परमार. नाउ वी विल नो अबाउट चंदेलास. द चंदेला राजपूत्स वेयर द इम्पोर्टेंट राजपूत्स वेयर कीर्तिवर्मन. रूलर वाज कीर्तिवर्मन. का कैपिटल था खजुराहो इज इन मध्य प्रदेश. दे वर फेमस फॉर बिल्डिंग टेम्पल्स एट खजुराहो. एज यू ऑल नो दैट खजुराहो इज नोन फॉर टेम्पल आर्किटेक्चर. बहुत सारे टेम्पल्स हैं वहाँ पे. And the most important temple is the Kandariya Mahadev temple. So what we saw that the Rajput belonged to a most powerful in the 8th and 9th century, and they were known for their loyalty, bravery and honesty. So these were all about the kingdoms of the north. Now we will know about some foreign invasions which were happened in the early medieval period. In the foreign invasions, we will first know about the Mahmud of Ghazni. Mahmud of Ghazni was from Ghazni. Ghazni is a place in Afghanistan. He came to India. His time period was AD 998 to AD 1030. He was a very ambitious ruler, and he wanted to attack. He attacked India with an ambition to make his empire, his kingdom in Afghanistan, a very big kingdom. So his ambition was to take the wealth of India but not to set up an empire in India. उसका ambition था इंडिया का जो wealth है, तो जो resources है, जो पैसे हैं, उसको लेके अपनी आर्मी को बिग करना, स्ट्रेंथ करना, जिससे कि वो अफगानिस्तान जहाँ का वो था गजनी, वो एक बहुत बड़ा एम्पायर बना सके. सो वो यहाँ लूट के इरादे से आया था, ना कि अपने साम्राज्य विस्तार के लिए. So for this he attacked India 17 times between 1000 and 1025. तो उसने इंडिया पे अटैक किया 5 साल के भीतर उसने 17 बार 17 टाइम्स अटैक किया. और उसके अटैक का वीक पॉइंट क्या था? टेम्पल्स. द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट डेयरिंग अटैक, जो कि साहसिक अटैक जो बोला जाएगा, वो मथुरा पे था और सोमनाथ टेम्पल पे था. सोमनाथ इज इन गुजरात. तो उसने इतना भीषण अटैक किया कि सोमनाथ टेम्पल के मंदिरों में जो दीवार पे जो कुछ कलाकृति थी, सोने चांदी जड़ित, उन सबको उखाड़ के वो ले गया. सो ही प्लंडर्ड इट वेरी बैडली, एंड इन दिस वे ही अटैक्ड इंडिया फॉर हिज एम्बिशन. उसकी मृत्यु होती है 1030 में. एंड उसकी मृत्यु के बाद उसके सक्सेसर्स, मतलब उसके बाद जो लोग आए, they were not so weak, not so powerful, and they were weak. Successors were weak, so his empire declined to rapidly. इसलिए उसका एम्पायर जो है, तो हम देख रहे हैं कि जब भी किंग कमज़ोर होता है, उसके बाद उसको संभालने वाला, उनके किंगडम को देखने वाला अगर कोई स्ट्रांग नहीं होता है, तो वो एम्पायर धीरे धीरे डिक्लाइन कर जाता है. The next invader was Muhammad Ghori. He was from Central Asia, Persia, which is now in Iran. He was also a very ambitious ruler. वो भी बहुत महत्वाकांक्षी था, उसके बड़े बड़े सपने थे. But his main motive was not to, unlike Mahmud of Ghazni, he don't want to plunder India, because वो यहाँ पे अपना साम्राज्य स्थापित करना चाहते. He want to rule in India, not to plunder. So he invaded in AD 1175 and first of all he conquered Multan. उसने मुल्तान को जीता. Multan is near Punjab, and in this way he have a control over Punjab, and he saw that if he has a good opportunity to control other places, because Punjab he was able to capture Punjab. So his boundaries now start touching the boundaries of Prithviraj Chauhan. So there was a conflict between them also. He had conflict means उनसे संघर्ष हुआ in the two battles which were fought in Tarai. One was in 1191 and the second one was in 1192. In the first battle of Tarai, Prithviraj Chauhan defeated him. किसको defeat किया? Muhammad Ghori को. But in the second battle he was not able to perform like that in the first battle. So he died while fighting in the war. In this way, Muhammad Ghori got the command of Delhi, and his kingdom stretched from Delhi to Bihar and to Bengal. Okay, so these were the two foreign invasions which happened during this time period. Now, I was talking about the northern part of India, the kingdoms which were found in the northern part of India, and the foreign invasion which basically happened in the northern part of India. Now we will talk about the south, the kingdoms of the South Indian. The most important kingdoms of the South Indian, we will talk about the Rashtrakutas. The Rashtrakuta kingdom was founded by Dantidurga. Their region of ruling was Maharashtra, and their capital was Malkhed. They have a conflict. Important conflict was tripartite struggle with Pratiharas and Palas in the north. In south, conflict with Pandyas, Pallavas and the Cholas. नॉर्दर्न इंडिया में भी और साउदर्न इंडिया में भी उनका संघर्ष चलता था पावर के लिए, राइट. एंड दे फॉलो वैष्णविज्म, शैविज्म एंड जैनिज्म. उन्होंने 3 तरह के रिलीजन वो फॉलो करते थे. शिव को मानते थे, विष्णु जी को मानते थे और जैन धर्म को भी फॉलो करते थे. दे हैव बिल्ट द राष्ट्रकूटा किंग्स बिल्ट कैलाश टेम्पल एट एलोरा एंड रॉक कट एलिफेंटा केव्स, एंड दिस वाज अ ग्रेट अचीवमेंट बिकॉज दीज प्लेसेज आर very important place of tourism in India. Okay, so this was about the Rashtrakuta kingdom. So next we will start. There were other kingdoms like Yadavas of Devgiris, Chalukyas of Kalyani, and Kakatiyas of Warangal. So we will know about that also. The founder of Yadavas of Devgiri were Bhilana. The king का नाम था Bhilana. In the 12th century, the region was between Narmada and Godavari rivers. इनका रूल कहाँ था? नर्मदा और गोदावरी रिवर के बीच में. What they were good in trade. In this their region, the trade was rich and very very prosperous. And the Yadavas of Devgiri were defeated by Alauddin Khalji. Chalukyas of Kalyani, they were known as later Chalukyas. Their important king was Vikramang. They built temples, Aihole, Padami and Patakadal. इन जगहों पर उन्होंने टेम्पल्स बनाए थे. Kakatiyas of Warangal, their region was Godavari and Krishna river, and their time period was 12th and 13th century. This period was known for because a European traveler Marco Polo visited during this time. So this was important period. The followers, they follow the religion Shaivism, and they promoted Sanskrit and Telugu language. So along with Sanskrit, a regional language Telugu was also promoted by the king. They were defeated by sultans of Delhi. Hoyslas of Dwarsamudra, their region was Karnataka, their king was Vishnuvardhan. The Pallavas, the region was Tamil Nadu, their capital was Kanchipuram, The rulers, important rulers, Mahendra Varman first and Mahendra Varman, Narasimha Varman one. They promoted art and architecture. Their achievement were Ratha Temple at Mahabalipuram, Kailashnath Temple at Kanchi. Now we will know about the Pandyas. Their region was Tamil Nadu and their capital was Madurai, and Madurai was known for center for learning. The Cholas. The Cholas ruled between AD 800 to AD 1200. Their capital was Tanjore. This dynasty was founded by Vijayalaya. Their important rulers were Rajaraja Chola and Rajendra Chola. Rajaraja defeated Cheras and Pandyas, and Rajendra Chola defeated Chalukyas and the Pala ruler, and also Sri Vijaya. They got very important rulers of South India. Cholas was the most important rulers of the South India because they have captured both North India and the South India and some part of South Asian Sea also. What was the kind of administration in the kingdoms? Administration was like that. The kings were the important center of administration, but they shared the power with the Samant. Samant के साथ वो अपनी power sharing करते थे, and Samant have a great influence on the kings. Now there was system Ur Sabha Nagaram. Ur means General Assembly of Village. मतलब इसमें सारे लोग आ सकते हैं, औरत, आदमी, स्त्री, पुरुष, सब. Sabha, this Sabha was only for men who were Brahmin, and Nagaram was association of traders and merchants of town. मतलब यहाँ पे व्यापार के लोग इस संगठन में होते थे. In the administration there was one more thing that was called Nadu. The kingdom was divided into many provinces which were known as mandalams. These mandalams were divided into Vela Nadu, and the Vela Nadu was again divided into Nadus. In this way the administration was done. Now prashastis and land grants. Prashastis का मतलब होता है something which was composed by the lone Brahmins in praise of the kings. मतलब राजा की प्रशंसा में ब्राह्मण्स जो पढ़े लिखे ब्राह्मण्स होते थे वो ग्लोरियस चीज़ें लिखते थे राजा के बारे में, बढ़ा चढ़ा के उनके बारे में, उनकी अचीवमेंट्स के बारे में लिखते थे, जिसको प्रशस्तीज कहते थे. इसके बदले उनको लैंड ग्रांट्स एज अ रिवॉर्ड दिया जाता था. उत्तर मेरूर इंस्क्रिप्शन. देयर वाज इंस्क्रिप्शन फाउंड इन द साउथ इंडिया, एंड दिस इंस्क्रिप्शन वाज रिटन बाय चोलास. इसमें रूल्स लिखा हुआ है एज हु कुड बी बिकम अ मेंबर ऑफ द सभा. जो सभा मैंने बताया ना, सभा जनरल असेंबली, सभा एन असेंबली ऑफ एडल्ट मेन इन द विलेज. ब्राह्मण विलेज में कौन कौन मेंबर हो सकता है, तो उनके कुछ रूल्स थे. मेंबर शुड हैव देयर ओन लैंड, जिसका टैक्स पे किया जाता हो. उनका अपना खुद का घर होना चाहिए. देयर एज शुड बी 35 to 70 ईयर्स. दे शुड हैव नॉलेज ऑफ वेदास एंड दे शुड हैव नॉलेज ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव मैटर्स. और उनका कोई भी मेंबर, किसी भी कमेटी में अगर 3 साल रह चुका है तो वो किसी भी अदर कमेटी का मेंबर नहीं बन सकता. So you can see that knowledge of Veda was important. So only Brahmins were the member of basically this Sabha. Now I will tell you something about from the book types of land and taxes. The Chola inscription mentioned various categories of land. Velangavagi, land of non-Brahmins. Brahmadeya, land gifted to the Brahmins. Shalabhoga, land for maintenance of a school. मतलब land जो दिया जाता था वो किस किस काम से दिया जाता था. देवदाना, land that was gifted to the temples. Palli Chandanam, land donated to the Jain institution. Vetti was a tax taken in the form of forced labor. Kadamai is a land revenue. Okay. Then there are some case studies you can see in the case study was about the Cholas and the Rajaraja I, Rajendra Chola, and their administration. Okay, the territory of South rivers Krishna and Tungabhadra is known as the South India, and the kingdoms were the Cholas, Cheras, and the Pandyas. Okay, the Rajaraja I was the most powerful ruler of the Chola dynasty. He was one of the greatest king of South India. He was known as Rajaraja the Great. Rajaraja defeated the eastern Chalukyas of Vengi, the Pandyas of Madurai, and the Gangas of Mysore. He conquered northern Sri Lanka, the Maldives. So it was a great achievement. Rajaraja I has so much of conquered so many things. So he was a great king of the Chola. Rajendra Chola was successor of Rajaraja I, and he went to Bengal. उसने बंगाल तक गया और उसने बहुत सारा Bengal, northern part of India also captured. So he was titled as Gangaikonda. Gangaikonda means the conqueror of the Ganges. On his way, he built a new capital called Gangaikonda Cholapuram. उसने बंगाल कैप्चर किया तो उसने एक नया किंगडम बनाया गंगईकोंडा चोलापुरम जिसका नाम था. His greatest achievement was the conquest of Sailendra Empire. During his reign, the kingdom was called the Golden Age of Cholas. After his death, the Chola kingdom began to decline. His successors were weak and the kingdom started to disintegrating. ये हम पहले ही बता चुके हैं. The empire was divided into mandalams, provinces. The mandalams were looked after by the governors. The mandalams were further divided into Velanadus. Each Velanadu consisted of a number of villages. This villages or Nadu was the smallest unit. As you can see that there is many temples pictures there. So Cholas they have a love for art, so they built many temples, and most of the temples were built in the Dravidian style, and their religion, they mostly follow Vishnu and Shiva. They follow basically Vishnu and Shiva. In the 12th century, Basava founded the Lingayata sector. Ramanuja and Madhava were the other great teachers who lived during this time. These teachers laid stress on bhakti. Okay, so they were basically followers of Vishnu and Shiva, but Ramanuja and Madhava stressed on bhakti movement. Expansion in the Tamil region. Agriculture flourished throughout the Tamil region. The temples played an important part. So in this period of time, what we saw that the temples were very important, and the agriculture was a very important thing at that time, and most of the temples support these agriculture because they and the irrigation system was very good at that time, and that is why all kind of fruits, vegetables and crops are grown in this time. And the Cholas carried out many kind of land surveys in a way to fix taxes and rates of land revenue. So in this period, why Cholas were important? Because they did many things to correct the revenue system and develop the irrigation system and to support the agriculture. So this was the end of the chapter, and you go through this video, and if you have any problem you can ask me in the class.